welcome you to the biggest Saturday that we have here in Lexington, Kentucky at Keeneland Racecourse. It is Toyota Bluegrass Day, and it is going to be picture perfect as we assemble some of the best talent in the Bluegrass to compete in 5 stakes races, starting with race number 6, the Grade 3 Commonwealth, and culminating with the Toyota Bluegrass in race number 10. Post time for that one at 6:23 Eastern. Scott Hazelton, Gabby Gaudette. We are at Wagering Central. Don't forget, you can swing by here if you want any advice from us or the betologist. We appreciate all the folks that have stopped us and given us kind words and asked for advice. And we had a pretty good day yesterday with our handicapping.
We did. It was a little chalky in the beginning of the day. I think in the first 5 races, the favorite won. And then it got, a little bit different and spiced things up in the second half of the card. But it was a fun day. The weather stayed away, and the weather is going to be beautiful today as well. I was driving in here, and I already saw the vans lining up with very well-dressed people walking into Keeneland.
Yeah, Lexington has it dialed in today, as does Keeneland Racecourse. So if you're planning to come on out, make sure you come out early to avoid any traffic getting into the racecourse. But looking back at yesterday, it's hard not to start with the Transylvania and Avi's Flatter and the performance that he put together. This is a colt that Josie Carroll got ready off of a 4-month layoff. Castellano picked up his second stakes win. But this filly, Lady Pauline, was sensational. She was wicked in her debut.
The half-sister to Lady Aurelia, who set the track record here 3 years ago for Wesley Warden, went on to be such a tremendous race mare. So that was, I think, I battled back and forth in terms of the best performance yesterday because Lady Pauline was just so sensational.
Can't wait to see her in Royal Ascot. And looks like we might have 2 stakes winners now head off to Royal Ascot following the Palisades Turf Sprint on opening day and yesterday with Lady Pauline. But that's a look back at yesterday as far as the weather. Let's check in with our friends at WKYT.
Hey, Keeneland race fans, meteorologist Adam Burnison here in the WKYT Weather Center. We are looking at a beautiful race day for your Saturday. Temperatures getting into the upper 60s by later on this afternoon, then even reaching into the 70s by later on this evening. Going to be feeling absolutely amazing outside. With that comes the dry weather as well. We had a little bit of wet weather yesterday. Now we're seeing some cloudy skies, but we will still see a good portion of sun throughout this afternoon and evening as well. So enjoy the races and good luck with your betting.
All right, Adam, we appreciate it. And it literally could not be better.
Right.
Sunny and perfect temperatures for Bluegrass Day.
It's going to be a massive crowd out here today, which is good, and excellent racing today, of course, headlined by the Bluegrass. It's going to be so much fun.
If you're not following us on social media, you should. Here are the outlets in which you can do so. Head off to Twitter. At Keeneland is where you can give us a follow. Same on Instagram and Facebook. And you can also watch Today at Keeneland on TVG2, and that network follow on Twitter is at TVG2 Network. And you can also catch both TVG and TVG2 in HD full-time if you download the Watch TVG app to your Apple TV, Roku, or Amazon Fire TV. So make sure that you check that out. But we mentioned 5 graded stakes races today. It is an all-stakes pick 5, which Gabby will get to a little bit later on, starting with race number 6, the Commonwealth. A very, very deep field, as is the Shakertown, as is the Grade 1 Madison, the Grade 1 Central Bank Ashlin. That is a prep here at Keeneland for the Kentucky Oaks at Churchill Downs, and the Toyota Bluegrass, the big one. That is the prep here at Keeneland to prepare these sophomores for the first Saturday in May in the Kentucky Derby.
These are tremendous races. I mean, it took me a long time to kind of sift through all of these horses. I even thought the Commonwealth was very, very difficult, but interested to see how my approach differs from your approach. We agreed a lot yesterday.
Let's see right now. Let's see if they match up. These are our full card selections. If you miss any of these, make sure you head over to Keeneland.com. Also, download the Keeneland Race Day app. That is the easiest way to access these picks and the summaries that a multitude of handicappers have written up. And as far as the first 3, we've matched up, and it looks like we're pretty aligned yet again, Gabby.
Well, okay, race 7, which is the Shakertown, we agree on with Imprimis. I think that's a very exciting horse. But other than that, we kind of disagree in terms of the graded stake sequences. The first half of the car, we'd agree, so we'll see how it all shakes out.
You're much better at looking at that and seeing whether we agree or disagree, so I'll just leave it to you on whether we agree or disagree moving forward the rest of the meeting.
Okay.
Deal? All right. Grade 1 Madison Stakes. It is race number 8. It does start a 50-cent pick 4, and there are no scratches in here. You've got the champion female sprinter from 2018 drawn to the outside. She's the 5-2 morning line favorite, Shamrock Rose. She has not won, though, in her 2 starts since that success in the Breeders' Cup Filly and Mare Sprint, which secured the Eclipse Award. So we'll see if she can bounce back today. And the cutback in distance, I think, will certainly do her some good. But I have fallen in love with the number 6 horse, Late Night Powwow, for Javier Contreras and Breeze Easy. That's the ownership of this Fiberson filly. She is a West Virginia bred who has left Charlestown, and she just continues to win. She's won 9 races in a row, and she stepped up against a Grade 1 winner last time out in the Barbara Fritchie and held off Spiced Perfection. This was one of the most impressive races that I have seen in 2019. Right now, she's dead to rights. Right, Gabby?
Right.
She's going to get run down. There's no way she's going to be able to step up in this fashion as Spice Perfection is coming down on her. But she battles back and digs in and just keeps on going. Luis Saez is going to take the call here today. Obviously, she's going to have to continue this in order to continue this role that she is on. But a snappy final time, 1:21.3. She's a fast filly going 6 furlongs. I love Late Night Powwow for a lot of reasons. I love stories like this when you've got smaller connections that have a filly that's not all that well bred, but able to compete at the highest level, and I think we're going to see that again today.
And you look at her form, and yes, she's gone against, a strictly just non-graded stakes company, with the exception of her last start in the Charlestown Oaks, but she strikes me as a type of filly that when she steps up in class, she responds positively. And mind you, Laurel Park is an outside closer's track, especially during the winter months.
Right.
And the fact that she just stayed and sustained in the Barbara Fritchie, I thought that was a very, very impressive performance. I definitely wanted to consider her and include her, and I do respect the favorite to the outside, but my play is going to be with the number 4, Amy's Challenge. And we'll go back and take a look at her most recent performance when she won by over 8 lengths at Oaklawn against Stakes Company and the Spring Fever. The key with her, I think, is that her connections have now figured out that her speed is her best attribute. Don't take this away from her. And she's a one-turn type of sprinter. I mean, they try to stretch her out. That's what you do when you have a 3-year-old and, you're running against potential Kentucky Oaks hopefuls. But since they've cut her back in distance, I think she's been absolutely sensational. Now, you could make the argument that Shamrock Rose got the better of her 3 starts back in the Raven Run here at Keeneland in the fall. But I'll go back and take a look at the gate break, actually. And it does say in the short comment, broke in at the start. But she completely missed the break, Scott. And you cannot do that at 7/8 on the rail with a filly that needs to lead. So I think the key is going to be the trick with her today is going to be to get out of the gate and set the pace. If she doesn't do that, I don't have confidence in her, but she's so fast, I think she can dictate.
She's a nice filly. I hate the fact that I've left her out of my top 3. I mean, she might end up biting me in the end because Mac Robertson has her dialed in. So it shows you the depth of this race. It is a true Grade 1 for these female sprinters, and it's so important when you look at this division because there are so few Grade 1 races for the female sprinters. So this is a key race when looking at the overall picture of 2019. So that's the Grade 1 of Madison. We now move on to the Grade 1 Central Baked Ashlin Stakes, $500,000. Again, this is a prep for the Kentucky Oaks. Feedback, we'll see her tomorrow in the Beaumont. And on the morning line, it is Jaywalk at 8-5. A filly that I can't figure out. I mean, she's nice. She's a 2-year-old champion. She won the Breeders' Cup Juvenile Fillies at Churchill Downs, blitzing that field. But her last race was so bad. She was off the bridle so early in that race, and now John Service is going to Javier Castellano.
The thing that John Service did say was that he might have underestimated her preparation going into the race. She might have been a little bit short of fitness. You could see that. She was very dull overall. And on top of that, maybe we underestimated the field as a whole. Champagne Anyone came back to win the Gulfstream Park Oaks. Geltrin came back to win as well. So it was a quality field, but I can't get over 2 things. The fact that she was so dull last time out, and the fact that she hasn't physically grown as a 3-year-old. Sometimes the transition is so hard from 2 to 3, and I haven't seen that physical progression.
And do you think that she would have grown up from that race at Gulfstream to now? I mean, we'll see what she looks like when she's down here. See, I don't think that she will either. So it'll be really interesting to see what you see because of the fact that you had a chance to see her down at Gulfstream when we're down in the paddock. So make sure that you come join us for that. But my selection is the 2-horse Chocolate Kisses. This is a Candy Ride filly who just continues to progress. She has progressed from her 2-year-old season to now her 3-year-old season where she's had 2 runs. And Mark Casse, he ran her on the turf in her first start at the age of 3, and she was very good there, and then she took down the Grade 3 Honeybee at Oaklawn Park, which we are going to take you back to, because this was a strong performance. I mean, she settled off the pace. She can sit closer if need be, if there isn't much pace. Just look at her Fairgrounds race on grass, and the fact that she's able to get up from this stage, this is not a long stretch at Oaklawn Park. Still, she's got no business winning this race, and that's Orlando Mojica who takes the call. He dives down to the inside, he gets that clear path, and she wins. I like the way that she's continued to progress over the course of her 3-year-old season and from the age of 2, and I respect Restless Rider. I think those two are the clear horses to beat. I'm leaving Jaywalk out of my top 3. If you're looking for a horse that is untested and may have ability that we have yet to see tapped into, Lady Kate is that filly for me. She's the price play. If you're an across-the-board player, look at Lady Kate, the 3, in the Grade 1 Ashlin.
And there's not a lot of pace, and Lady Kate does possess that. So does Jaywalk, but we don't know what to make of Jaywalk in this spot. That's where I landed on Restless Rider. Now, mind you, I did originally pick Feedback because she looked like the pace of the race, but Chad Brown opting to stick to one turn with her for tomorrow's Beaumont. Restless Rider, she's got tactical speed to sit close. She's not going to be on the lead, but she can let everything develop in front of her. Let's take a look at the Grade 1 Alcibiades when she did get the victory as a 2-year-old. Now, she actually did beat Chocolate Kisses in this race. The difference was Chocolate Kisses broke from post 13 out of 14, and Restless Rider had a great post. She was down on the inside. She got an amazing position. You can see her kind of carrying her head high and finishing up there. So that's where I kind of wanted to use both of these fillies, because Chocolate Kisses was at a disadvantage, whereas Restless Rider, she is coming in off of the layoff, but I do think that Ken McPeak has a good hold on her fitness going into this race.
I can't wait to see this 3-year-old filly division come into shape, because between here in the Central Bank Ashlin and the Santa Anita Oaks out at Santa Anita, where Bellafina will be competing, we're going to have a lot of answers moving forward after today. So, and the same can be said when we look at the 3-year-old colt division, because this is a big day, a pivotal day for so many of these horses in a division that has been so inconsistent. I mean, inconsistency has reigned supreme, and I'm not talking about Vekoma, but I'm talking about the top-level horses, and Game Winner and Improbable. They ran well in the Rebel, but so many of these other horses that we expected big things from just haven't taken that step forward. And, you know, Vekoma, he deserves a lot of respect. He will settle as the favorite in here. And Vekoma, thanks to Kurt Becker, he's coming with this nugget for us. Vekoma is named after a Dutch company that makes roller coasters. This Keeneland grad by Candy Ride, that's how they get Vekoma, in case you're wondering.
Candy Ride, and another funny, a well-named horse is Win Win Win. Obviously, he's by Hat Trick.
He is,
So
and I like Win Win Win. He is my selection. I'm chasing him, I'm going to be honest with you, I'm chasing him from his run at the Tampa Bay Derby. Gabby and I were there. He's a horse that needs to figure things out coming away from the starting gate. Now, it didn't cost him 2 back when he set a track record going 7 furlongs, but watch him here. He's just not sharp away, and he doesn't establish a bad position going into that first turn, but look at the advantage that the rest of these horses have, and that's Tacitus, who'll be running in the Wood Memorial, who's out in front of him, and he runs a bang-up race. But this horse ended up wide, but he just kept on coming. I mean, there was no stop in his run late in the Tampa Bay Derby. So the key is for him to get away from the gate and get a better position going into the first turn, because that was a good race. His Pasco was ridiculously good. It's now or never for Win Win Win. That's the reality when it comes to the Kentucky Derby and races moving forward, because if it doesn't work out, Gabby, he's probably going to be cutting back, and we'll see him in some of these key stakes races like the Woody Stevens on Belmont Stakes Day.
Exactly. And another thing to keep in mind, Win 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 was going crazy in the paddock prior to the Tampa Bay Derby, and he might have lost his sharpness a little bit, that alone. So it's going to be important to watch his behavior in the paddock here, where a lot can go on at Keeneland. I opted for another horse that's coming out of the Tampa Bay Derby, so we'll take a look at Dreammaker. This is a typical tap-it. Sometimes the light bulb's on, sometimes the light bulb's off, and that just is how he is.
But when it's on, it's freaky.
When it's on, he's very, very good. I wanted to show you the break at the Tampa Bay Derby, and it's similarly to Win Win Win. Now, Win 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 went on to overcome this poor break, whereas Dreammaker didn't. He got shuffled back coming out of the gate, and I could see him. He came back after the race. He was covered from head to toe with mud, with dirt, and everything. He just did not look like a happy horse. This is a horse that needs to be forwardly placed out in the clear. They have taken him back to the gate and worked him. I talked to assistant David Carroll. That work was in 46 flat, best out of 48 coming out of the gate. And just to kind of tighten the screws, make sure that he gets out of the gate. There's no hiccups. When this horse is right, he is very good. And I'm just banking on the hope that he's going to get out of the gate.
Yeah, so we're leaning on horses that have ability. We know that they just need to take a step forward. Vekoma, he's the safe pick in reality. And because he's really done nothing wrong. That third in the Fountain of Youth was very good. But it's time now to go to Tom Leach for more on the Bluegrass.
George Weaver is with us. He trains Vekoma, coming off a nice third in the Fountain of Youth. Tell me about that race and how it moved him forward to this one.
Well, we were coming off of a 4-month layoff, and it was the first time going 2 turns, so we were pretty happy with it. I mean, obviously we would have liked to have won the race, but all things considered, you know, the speed figures came back well, and the horse came, you know, he came out of the race well, and we thought it was a good enough race to go on and keep on the Derby trail and give the next prep a shot. And this is the prep that is going to mean everything. It's going to decide whether or not he goes to the Derby.
Any concern about the stretch out to 9 furlongs now?
You know, I just don't know. He ran well enough down there going a mile and a 16th. It's just something we've got to find out. You know, he 2 for 2 going 1 turn, and we finished third in our only 2-turn race. But I thought it was a sneaky good race, and the horse has really trained well since then. So we're going to see what he does.
You've had success here at Keeneland before. What prompted you to bring your horse here? I know you had other options. Why did you like the Toyota Bluegrass spot?
Well, it would have been nice to be able to stay in Florida, but I thought this race was coming up a little bit easier. And I think that the extra week after the layoff race is really a big benefit. He came back with a really good work the other day. And look, let's face it, we're 9-5 morning line favorite, and it's horse racing 101. You know, find your horse the best spot to be in, and you'll win races.
Good luck.
Thank you.
It's George Weaver. He'll settle Vekoma in the Toyota Bluegrass.
Tom Leach coming with the goods again. What was your take on his Fountain of Youth run?
Okay, so he had a very similar trip that Code of Honor did. In regards to, you know, where they were placed on the backstretch at the half-mile pole, they were pretty much in the same position. However, Vekoma was on the outside and Code of Honor was on the inside. Johnny Velazquez gave Code of Honor a Hall of Famer type of ride, whereas Vekoma lost a little bit of ground. I think Code of Honor, even after the Florida Derby, is very good. He's still in my top 5, maybe top 3 for the Kentucky Derby. So I think that is encouraging for Vekoma, and I don't think you should look down on his third place finish. I really do think he is the goods and the horse to beat.
This race is the goods. It's one of the most important races that we have each and every year. And just to give you a figure on it, this is the 95th running. In the history of the Toyota Bluegrass, 69 American Classic wins have resulted from a run in the Bluegrass. That is an unbelievable statistic, led by Whirlaway, who won the Triple Crown after finishing second in the Bluegrass. So an extremely important race, and we cannot wait to see these 3-year-olds knock heads en route to Churchill Downs. It's time now, though, for the Clocker Report, and I think you and I are going to be happy to see what the Clocker's like here, because he's got late night powwow in the Madison looking awesome with an exclamation point. 59-1, best of 27, hard to play against with the record of 11 wins in 12 starts. I completely agree. She is a gamer. And then Dream Maker, you gotta like what you see there from the Clocker Report.
Yeah, that's that 4 furlong gate workout that I was alluding to. And the key is the very sharp gallop out. You always like to get, you know, that added fitness in the gallop out. That's something that Mark Cassidy and David Carroll always like to instill in their works in the morning. So I hope he's right.
I hope he's right, too, for your sake. And I hope Win breaks out of the gate. I hope they both break out of the gate, and it's game on, and we're hooked up at the top of the stretch. All right, we're here to make money. That's the reality. Have a good time and make money, and there is going to be a lot of money in these pools today here at Keeneland, especially when you take a look at these multi-race exotics. All Stakes Pick 5 and All Stakes Pick 4. The Pick 5 is guaranteed at $300,000, and the All Stakes Pick 4 guaranteed at $400,000, presented by our friends at TVG. So make sure that you take a swing, and I think that you're going to want to invest some money. Be interesting to see how you approach this Pick 5, and here's your $48 ticket.
I thought the Commonwealth was a spread race. Now, we did have a scratch of the one Coppertown. I did originally include him, so I threw in the number 11, Bobby's Wicked One, to the outside. It's because yesterday, you know, I thought that in a couple of races there would be a really hot, contentious pace, and that never transpired. So I wanted to back myself up with these very fast horses, including Bobby's Wicked One, but I do prefer the number 10 horse in there, and that is Runaway Ghost, a horse that's turning back in distance. In race 7, the Shakertown, I love Imprimis, but I will back myself up with the number 9, Bound for Nowhere for Wesley Ward. Has shown an affinity for this turf course at Keeneland. Race 8 is the Grade 1 Madison, just using 2 horses there. Scott, I did leave out your horse in their late night powwow just because I wanted to keep this ticket affordable, and I love Amy's Challenge. I really do believe in her, and I don't think Shamrock Rose is a vulnerable favorite either. I respect her. In race 9, 2, 4, 6, that's the Grade 1 Ashlin, and then we get to the featured race, the Grade 2 Bluegrass, and I will be using the 2 Vacoma and the number 6 Dreammaker, my top selection, $48 play.
Can you do me a favor and tweet that out for the folks that maybe missed it?
Yeah.
Just tweet those numbers out?
I will.
Okay. Thank you, Gabby. And I'll do the same with my pick 4. Here's my ticket. I'm going to go 3 by 3 by 3 by 3. $40.50 the investment. And in the Shakertown, Conquest Tsunami, the 8 horse. I love when top trainers wheel horses back quickly, and that's what Peter Miller is doing with Conquest Tsunami, this Keeneland November sales graduate. Just ran on the 31st of March, 6 days ago. That was a strange race. A few horses went down, crossing over the dirt course, and this horse has a serious amount of talent. So we'll see if this turnaround suits him. I think it will. The number 9 horse, Bound for Nowhere, off the 6-month layoff. Wesley is so good. This horse won this race last year in 2018, and he's hoping to get him back to Royal Ascot. So we'll see if that's the case with him. And then the 11 horse Imprimis, he's looking to get to Ascot as well. It looks like he's going to have an invitation to go to the Group 1 King's Stand, and they had the option to go to Dubai on World Cup night and run in the Alquoise, but they've opted to go to Ascot and use this race here today. And he's one of the fastest horses that you will see, period, for the rest of your life. His last race was absurd. As far as the Madison 5, 6, and 9 Spice Perfection, the Grade 1 winner in the La Brea almost got to late night powwow, the filly that I'm in love with, and I think that we'll win this race. And then I'm with you with Shamrock Rose. If things get crazy out on the front end, she'll instill that late kick that we've seen from her, and the cutback in distance is going to be huge for her as well. In the Central Bank, Ashlin, 2, 3, and 6 Chocolate Kisses. My top selection, the 3 horse Lady Kato. I said, you're never going to see a price again if she runs big today with this filly. So take advantage of that. I love playing horses that are stepping up, that have talent, and she's going to be doing that here today. So I'll chase for that price. But you can't leave Restless Rider off your ticket either. A very, very good horse for Kenny McPeak, who's been working with Signalman. And then in the Toyota Bluegrass race number 10, Vacoma, the favorite. His consistency cannot be ignored. The 3 horse Signalman for McPeak. He admitted to us multiple times over that he just didn't have this colt fully ready for that last race, fully cranked up. He will be. Look at his workouts. He's going to be set to go, as McPeak has a big chance to sweep both the Ashlin and the Bluegrass Stakes, something that he has done before. And then my top selection, Win, Win, Win. Let's just hope that he's going to be able to break sharply away from the starting gate. So, I mean, these sequences, it's like a Breeders' Cup day.
It's
today,
much
with
fun.
the depth of it, because when you look at who's going to be the shortest price favorite, it's probably going to be Vacoma, right, in those sequences?
Probably, yeah.
It's crazy.
And the impact that it's going to have on not only Kentucky Derby Day, Oaks Day, but on the rest of the year, really, for even the sprinters that are just starting their campaign.
I'm going to backtrack as far as my best angle to the Grade 3 Commonwealth, and you can see Coppertown and Proforma are both scratches, so that leaves us with 12 horses. This is another horse that I love, uncontested. Jennifer Patterson has done a great job with this horse. He was not all that sharp coming away from the starting gate. It will take you back to that General George, where he quickly recovered, though. I mean, most horses cannot recover from this stumbled step, and it didn't take long before he was back into stride and back out in front. And here's another horse that had the option of going over to Dubai on World Cup night and competing against the best in the world, and that would have been in the Golden Shaheen, but they opted to come here to Keeneland for the long-term goal in North America, and he just does not miss a beat. This is a horse that you are going to hear a lot from in 2019, and I think we're going to get a decent price. If I was to pick one horse that I was going to bet on and bet a significant amount of money on, it's uncontested in the Commonwealth.
Do you think his speed is, he can harness it? Because that's my concern, is that there's so much other speed.
I don't even think it matters. I think that if he gets in a duel, he just keeps on going.
I agree
He
with
just
you.
does not miss a beat. He's like Gunrunner. Remember Gunrunner?
Yes.
Did he ever miss a beat?
Nope.
This horse, he's not. He's going to be just fine with the other speed. What's your best angle today?
It's going to be in race 7, and this is the Grade 2 Shakertown. I love this race, and my top pick is going to be Infamous. I love this horse. I loved him from the moment he got started. I saw him in his debut when he won first time out. Since then, he's gone on to be very impressive. I want to take a look at his last race, though. This was coming in off of the layoff in the Silks Run. This was a non-graded stakes race, but the quality of the field was there. The second place finisher, Vision Perfect, he's a Grade 3 winner, and he had run a 106 Spire speed figure in the past. I mean, this is a very, very fast racehorse, and he beat him by almost 4 lengths in a hand drive. You can see the loose rein shaking coming to the finish line.
That's silly.
So my play in here is going to be a exacta box. I love him, but I do respect the number 9, Bound for Nowhere, and then the number 3, Disco Partner. This horse, don't give up on him. I know he's 7 years old. A couple of people might have said he's a little long in the tooth, maybe he's lost a step, but he's had poor trips in the last 2 starts, so I'm not giving up on Disco Partner just yet.
All right, let's go to Tom Leach's pick of the day. He's going to take us to race number 8 on this card. That is the Grade 1 Madison, and Tom likes to search for a price, and he will get one with Cathedral Reader, won here last fall at the same distance with the same jock, and trainer Dallas Stewart says this is her best distance. And how many times do we see Dallas Stewart runners outperform what's expected of them in big stakes races? He's very good at showing up.
He's the go-to double-digit odds trainer horse that just kind of hits the try or all those exotics. So interesting long shot there, 15-1.
Yeah, she'll be coming from off the pace, and she's a Keeneland graduate who's 1 for 1 at Keeneland. So we cannot wait for this card. 105 is first post time. That kicks off a 50-cent pick 5, so make sure that you consider that. And then here in just a few minutes, in about 10 minutes, you're going to have a jockey Q&A with Javier Castellano.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to that. So definitely come on out and check that out.
Enjoy Toyota Bluegrass Day here at Keeneland.
Scribe, take this down. For far too long, people have been left to wonder what ingredients are in their beer. As your leader, make that handsome leader, I shall put an ingredients label on every case of Bud Light. This way, the people will be sure that the kingdom's favorite lightest lager is brewed with the finest ingredients. That was really great. Did you get that?
Oh, was I supposed to be writing that down? I was drawing this pony.
Bud Light, now with an ingredients label.
We're here at Toyota Motor Manufacturer in Kentucky.
This is Toyota's largest manufacturing facility in the world.
Let's go take a look.
Come on.
Toyota has invested over $8 billion in this plant alone, producing over 11 million vehicles.
It's all part of Toyota's commitment to the beautiful state of Kentucky.
Helping to create jobs for nearly 25,000 people. You gotta love that.
Toyota Camry, built in the USA.
Toyota, let's go places.
The Acoustic Cats, founded in 1993 by Dr. Jefferson Johnson as a subsection of the University of Kentucky Men's Chorus, is the premier all-male a cappella ensemble in Kentucky. Specializing in doo-wop and a cappella pop styles, this undergraduate group represents a variety of majors and regions from our great state and beyond. These young men use their musical gifts to make our community a better place to live. First up, My Old Kentucky Home.
The sun shines bright on my old Kentucky home. 'Tis summer, the people are gay. The corn tops ripe and the meadows in the bloom, while the birds make music all the day. The young folks roll on the little cabin floor, all merry, all happy and bright. By and by, hard times comes a knocking at the door. Then my old Kentucky home, good night. Oh, weep no more, my lady, oh, weep no more today. We will sing one song for my old Kentucky home, for my old Kentucky home, for my old Kentucky home, for my old Kentucky home. Far away, far away, far away.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave? Stay smiling. Yeah, stay smiling.
At this time, Keeneland is proud to recognize Mark Kramer from Mutuals as the Employee of the Day. Mark, congratulations.
See you at the races.
off. Here comes Promised Fame out for the lead. Quickly scoots over down toward the rail well before the entry to the first turn, although Social Circle still there to occupy that spot as they enter the turn. Further out, Czarina Maria going to move up now. Third, second. Challenge for the lead stays up very wide into the turn. In the meantime, Promised Fame has gotten to the rail. That's going to cause Social Circle to move up to the outside now to challenge for that second spot. Czarina Maria still wide, has a head in front from Promised Fame. Social Circle in third, in between horses off the first turn, and then Resurrection Road, who's fourth toward the outside within 3 lengths of the lead, followed by Art Buff, Rock Ice next to last, and Arlanza Trails. Opening quarter, 24.11 seconds. Czarina Maria opens up on a 2.5 length lead. Now there goes Art Buff, moving off the rail up between horses, 2.5 length, and then Promised Fame. Here's Art Buff now, switching lanes again down to the inside. Eventful move up the backstretch for Art Buff, but it pays off, goes to the lead, gets out of the traffic, opens up here by just over 2 lengths. Promised Fame tries to pick it up to the inside. Social Circle likewise from the outside, either side there of Czarina Maria, who backs up to fourth, 48.46 seconds for the opening half mile. Then Resurrection Road, long way back, Arlanza, Rock Eyes at the back. Back up front, Art Buff is the leader, but here comes Social Circle just off the leader's flank. Half length separate the top two. They're at the quarter pole. Promised Fame is there in third, gap of 5 to Resurrection Road in fourth. Coming to the top of the short stretch, Social Circle has a narrow lead now from Art Buff in second, gap of 4. Back to Promised Fame in third, another 4 lengths back of that one then to Resurrection Road. Into the final furlong, Social Circle and Tyler Gaffalione opening up with every stride here. 5, 6 lengths to the good. Art Buff second, Promised Fame third, Resurrection Road fourth. No catching, Social Circle. It is all Social Circle in the opener at Keeneland. Art Buff second, Resurrection Road was home third, and then Promised Fame crossed the wire in fourth. In the winner's circle for Keeneland's first race, won Social Circle, owned and trained by Phil Sims, Tyler Gaffalione, the jockey. Social Circle, a 3-year-old filly by Stay Thirsty, out of Personally Yours by Harlan's Holiday, bred in Ontario by Tommy Ligon. And they're off. There's Lady Pauline right out.